Hello, this is Pixie doing another video. I was thinking about sort of these, I guess it's like meditation stroke remote viewing. Maybe I need to work on it. And I was thinking, well, because it's not really Earth things I'm so much interested. It's trying to make sense of this universe as well. So maybe with a star map, I should look at meditating and trying to pick up things on races, especially if there's things like the Blue Book. They produced a guide of all these different races and what people believe they are and stuff, and seeing what I can pick up. There's some type of a portal, I think, inside the planet, and that may be why certain races are turning up and disappearing, and it's probably a way to observe us without actually being noticed, if that's what's going on. Massive bus thing, it just disappeared. So that'll be an interesting project, and we have to take some, I guess, spiritual precautions, because if you do encounter, or if I encounter something, I might draw my attention to it, and it might not be a friendly species. I did have yesterday, I was at clients, and it could have been just like a power surge or something like that. Just for a second, everything went black. It's a second, just like flash. And I think it was just the lighting. I didn't really notice the TV, but the TV's got some capacitor type thing, so it wouldn't go off instantly. They sort of power down and fade out, basically, a TV. I thought that was unusual. Some dreams have been a bit slightly unusual, but I can't really place that. It's like there's a dream, and I was kissed a person, on this female being. I kissed her on the cheek. Well, I thought it was a person, but they seemed a bit sort of concerned when I went and done that. And most humans wouldn't have that kind of reaction, as if I was going to eat them or something. So yeah, and who were they? It's kind of the mystery of these things. So maybe I should play around with meditation. I don't want to obviously delude myself and sort of like chase a fantasy, but it's going through a process of basically finding what is considered factual, and that would be like details. A bit like I mentioned of being, it had 3 toes, it had a particular thing, was the appendage of its sort of fingers were different. What makes this species different? And I shouldn't over push it, but it's just kind of like, I'm looking for a feature. So it's like I'm instructing my spirit in some ways. Some sort of the extension of that is that from a logical perspective, I'm there for a reason, and I want to pick up on things. A lot of people, they tend to repeat the same sort of messages around to each other, and it could be they're picking up on all sorts of things. It could be that other people project thoughts into the sort of collective consciousness that they pick up on. So basically any entity that exists, you can meditate on, because at some level someone's helped to sort of fabricate the existence of it by literally their conscious will. That's why you've got archetypal beings, I guess, the nether realm beings of the metaverse that's is slightly beyond it. And also picking up information is quite vital. Learning maybe a fact, like I was thinking about the late. I mean, we show this disc of the universe, but maybe it's a donut shape, or maybe it's expanding. It's going to expand into a big ball. It's pumping itself up. The energy, it's because it's got these natural states. So when something spins out, it's because of the gravitational spin of it, I imagine. When things start to, everything starts to kind of neutralise a little bit, it would expand outward. because everything's moving at the same speed, so it doesn't have a inertia type force on it. It doesn't create the drag, so that might happen to the that might happen to our galaxy, I guess. The galaxy universe is a galaxy made out of galaxies. So the only other thing I picked about that was being was a Pegasus star system, and so I just started doing a bit of research on that, the flying winged horse, and also what the mythology says about it. Because it tells stories of things that happened that people have picked up on. It may be that it was hidden knowledge, and that, you know, let's say the Earth was taken over by an alien, a superior alien race, or it was like an advanced human beings, and they genetically modified a population, created a population to work as kind of slave workers for them. They would have rules in place, and then they'd probably suppress levels of knowledge. But if you could tell it through stories, then the stories would preserve the knowledge with the understanding that someone at some point is going to decode that. And that's why things that don't make sense sometimes hold keys to things that do make sense. You know, a bit like the Bible saying the book of Numbers, and then you think, well, where are the numbers? And so it's telling you there's a cipher in it. And that's what people have done, have extracted information from it. But why would you want to suppress that knowledge? Why wouldn't you just say, well, this is what this means, instead of being sort of so vague? And also getting a full translation, because people say up above and down below being equal, but there's also left and right and everything else in that, in the Emerald tablets. So if you look at the whole structure of the sentence and then decode it, and then it was great, the stuff I saw in the this chap. He's a preacher, but he was saying about like Yahweh, that's a man, that's a being there. It's a representative of some higher order, that's what it is. And so there's a lot of information, but then, you know, if you can also, it's not limited, it's that you can meditate backwards in time as well. Try to meditate on what Yahweh was. You might get a bit of a psychic knockback, or it might be some kind of truth or understanding. Depends what the beings are. If they're totally intolerant and domineering, they just see me as an inferior spiritual species or something. But it's the human, that's what it was, the spirit man. That's why it's important that we don't start rechanging everything. It's like our men, our Menra, and maybe some Egyptian connection, but there's also the Jewish. It means something completely different. And they wanted to say our woman as well, but they don't. I mean, it just shows you that they don't understand what the words mean, which is terrible. You can't preach something without. This is the misinterpretation of the religion for a long time. They say, look, read the book, and then you ask a question. Don't ask questions, because they don't have answers. That's what they should be saying. But you have to tell people that it's the truth, the whole truth, knowing by the truth. So help me God. Anyway, take care, and speak to you soon. Bye.